The year 1980 in Ireland was marked by various events. In January, the future Pope Francis arrived in Ireland to learn English. In February, Ireland's first ATM machine was opened, and the Dermot hoard, including the Dermot chalice, was discovered. In April, Johnny Logan won the Eurovision Song Contest for Ireland. In August, the Buttevant Rail Disaster and the Central Hotel fire in Bundoran resulted in multiple deaths. In November, the controversial Health Family Planning Act 1979 came into operation, allowing the provision of contraceptives by prescription. In December, Taoiseach Charles Haughey met with British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, marking the first visit by a British Prime Minister since Irish independence. In the arts and literature, notable works were published, including Eavan Boland's poetry collection In Her Own Image and Bernard Farrell being awarded the Rooney Prize for Irish Literature. In sports, Mark James won Carroll's Irish Open in golf. Notable births in 1980 included Liam O'Brien, Clive Clarke, and Brian McFadden.
The Egyptians may have the belly dance and the Austrians the waltz, but in this part of East Clare, when comely maidens gather at the crossroads, the in dance is the fling, an old traditional dance that had been dying out for years, but has now been revived with the help of local teacher John Torpey.
Sean, how difficult was it to revive a dance that was almost dead?
Well, I was very fortunate, Michael, in that there were a number of old people in the parish who still remembered the fling from their earlier dancing days, danced here at the platform, and that made the job much easier. We got together in one of their houses and we spent numerous nights putting the fling together and getting it back on the road again, and now it's one of the most popular dances around.
Six-year-old Pat Conway hopes to become the first Irishman to swim the Channel from England to France. Target date, sometime between August the 8th and the 11th, depending on tides and weather. His training at the moment is, according to himself anyway, fairly leisurely.
At the moment I'm up to 3.5 hours solid in the water, going all the time. And I've got to build up, to have any chance of doing it, I'd have to build up to roughly between 8 and 10 hours swimming comfortably in the water, which I'm just hoping I'll do. I haven't done it before, but I'm hoping with swimming every day that the muscles will begin to kind of lessen the pace.
It must take a ferocious amount of dedication.
Well, when you've got something in front of you, like something like the English Channel, you kind of, when you're in the water, it's very monotonous, very boring. You're actually counting your strokes, you're out there on your own. But the challenge that's in front of you keeps coming into your head, and you say, well, might as well keep at it for another 2 or 3 months anyway, and then it'll be all over. At least.
Lisdoon Varna, famous for matchmaking and now the festival, and there's nothing to say they don't go hand in hand. In a year that's widely regarded as make or break year for the summer festivals, Lisdoon Varna say the organisers cost £250,000 to stage. It took 16 articulated trucks to bring all the necessary equipment onto the site, and the stage, 140 feet wide, was the largest ever erected in Ireland. In the end, fears of another 1982 festival failure were allayed. It's accepted that crowds were down on last year, but the organisers put the audience for American singer-songwriter Jackson Browne, the headlining act, at between 20 and 24,000. Facilities were improved this year, with a festival village with everything from T-bone steaks to the Hare Krishnas. Extra fire and medical facilities were in use. In the end, they dealt with minor injuries and one potentially dangerous incident when a van went on fire. Toilet facilities too were improved, 118 throne rooms this year, and all fit for a king, or so they said. As festivals get bigger and the big name acts are brought in, organisational costs go up. For the fans, the festivals don't come cheap. A weekend ticket for Lisdoon Varna cost £20. 5 years ago, it was a fiver. There were the usual complaints about rip-off prices, with some justification. Cans of beer were going for £1, as was watery stew, and hamburger and chips cost £1.20. But for those who shopped around, there were the bargains, like those T-bones at £1.90.
share and subscribe.